Okay, good evening everyone. Thank you for coming. MADD St. Thomas Elgin appreciates your support. We're gathered together tonight to honor the victims whose lives have been changed through no fault of their own. Once you lose someone in an alcohol-related, completely preventable crash, you are never the same. It changes you. Tonight we will hear from the very hearts of families that have lost sons, daughters, mothers, fathers, grandparents, sisters, brothers, aunts, uncles, and many friends. Every day in Canada, 4 people are killed and 174 injured. Still alarming statistics. There is still much work to be done. Families sharing tributes with us tonight are allowing us to see into their very soul. Those of you that have provided tributes, we thank you. And we appreciate your sharing your thoughts and special memories with us in this safe place. If I could have Bill Lynch come up, please.
Please be seated.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I want to thank the St. Thomas Elgin chapter of Mothers Against Drunk Driving for the invitation and the opportunity to participate in this very important, meaningful memorial service for our community. MADD Canada is a charitable grassroots organization, and our local St. Thomas Elgin MADD chapter is a very active one, comprised of many dedicated volunteers. These volunteers give of their time and are tirelessly committed to stopping impaired driving, raising awareness, and supporting the victims of this violent crime. Your emergency services share these goals. Having attended the annual Vigil in past years, I've heard the heart-wrenching stories that you've shared with us. It is my belief that anyone who even thinks about drinking and driving should attend this vigil to experience the devastating consequences and the permanent effects of their actions on the victims, families, friends, and our entire community. For 25 years now, volunteers of MADD Canada have been raising awareness of the destructive and often deadly consequences of impaired driving. As community partners, emergency services and MADD must work diligently to stop impaired driving and support the victims of this crime. Together we must continue to conduct ride programs, educate the community, raise awareness, prevent injuries, and save lives so that families won't have to bear the burden of the consequences of impaired driving. To that end, I pledge our unwavering commitment to support MADD St. Thomas Elgin and the victims of impaired driving in our community. Together, our efforts will save lives and make our streets and communities safer.
Thank you very much for that. OPP Detachment Commander Inspector Brad Fishley.
Good evening, and thank you for allowing me to participate in your service this evening. As you know, the enforcement of impaired driving has always been a top priority for the OPP and for all police services in Ontario. It's my honor to be here to participate in your service, to hear your tributes of those that have suffered the loss and tragedy from impaired driving. My thoughts and prayers go out with you this evening.
MPP Jeff Urick, please. We know Jeff's on our side.
Good evening. The Candlelight Vigil for Hope and Remembrance, to me, means hope that someday that people will learn and stop drinking and driving, and remembrance for those that we've lost. I want to thank the police, firefighters, and the EMS who are here with us tonight and who are out every night trying to stop this injustice. I'd like to thank MADD for the dedication they have in helping people through drunk driving, the victims, and remembering those who we've lost. I just take a moment just for me to remember. I lost a cousin 20 years ago to a drunk driver. So, you know, you have my support. You'll always have my support until we can end this injustice. And I'm hoping the politicians can take the right step and end this. Thank you.
Thanks, Jeff. Can Karen Beckiel, please, representing Joe Preston's office.
Good evening. I am privileged to be here on behalf of Joe Preston, the Member of Parliament. To begin, I would like to thank the local chapter and MADD Canada for putting on this vigil. As a mother of 5 children and 4 teenagers, it's things like tonight, sharing your stories, how important it is and the impact they have. Tonight, I am joined with my 14-year-old daughter, who thought it was very important to come tonight. Last year, she joined me and she heard the stories. Those stories impacted her. She is here because she recognizes that this is an injustice, as Jeff has indicated, and that we can no longer accept this. On behalf of Joe Preston, I would like to thank all of the people here today to pay tributes to your lost ones. It is your story, one at a time, that will help stop this. Thank you.
Our MADD President, Karen Holtby, please.
My thoughts. When burdened with my sorrow, I imagine you are near. For a moment I am quiet, and I feel your presence here. I close my eyes and see you with your long hair flowing free. Your big blue eyes are twinkling as you throw a kiss to me. I think I hear you whisper, I love you, see you soon. I think I saw your pretty face as I looked up at the moon. I thought I felt you touch me as I strolled across the shore. Excuse me. A touch that made me quiver and leaves me wanting more. I thought I saw you dancing by our favorite hiking spot. You seemed so whimsical, like a sweet forget-me-not. Was it you I saw riding on a butterfly and singing with the birds? Flitting around my head, a message without words. Were you here with us on Christmas morning as we opened up each treasure? I was sure I heard your laughter, delighting in our pleasure. Was it you who brushed my tear-stained face as I placed flowers on your grave, as I whispered private secrets while trying to stay brave? You will always be with me, and forever you will remain, your beautiful face I see in the picture frame. I cannot say goodbye to you and have not let you go, for what it meant to lose you, no one will ever know.
Thanks, Karen. Stephen Van Wees, please. Stephen is the Victim Services representative from London MADD, and he's offered to come down and help us tonight. So we're pleased to have you, Stephen.
The lighting of these symbolic candles represents a renewal of our commitment to our families and friends and community. We hope this special remembrance will sustain us as we continue to heal and help each other. Jim Malik of the Elgin St. Thomas EMS. We will light the red candle. The red ray of that flame shall be courage, the courage which shall make us fearless and dauntless in pursuit of our mission to stop impaired driving and to support victims of this violent crime. Bill Todd, Chief Fire Prevention Officer for the St. Thomas Fire Department. We will light the yellow candle. The yellow of that flame shall be our vision, which gives courage and enthusiasm to continue our strategies in the hope that one day there will be no more victims. Heather Jackson, Mayor for St. Thomas. We will light the violet candle. The candle of that flame shall be humility, that sense of honor which makes us seek nothing in return for the support that we show others. Inspector Brad Fishley, OPP Detachment Commander. We will light the orange candle. The orange of that flame shall spark loyalty, that strength of purpose in which we accept every result without undue discouragement. Sean Jackson, community partner. We will light the green candle. The green of that flame shall be fellowship, representing the love of not only those who we have lost or who have been hurt, but it also extends itself to our fellow beings in our communities. Andre Raymer, Police Chief of Elmer. We will light the blue candle. The blue of that flame shall be service, the ultimate display of courage and the highest regard for the performance of duty which police officers consistently display in lightening our burdens. We remember all the brave officers who fight against impaired driving and for those who have been injured or killed in their line of duty. Please remain standing.
Have Allie Shepherd, please.
As we light these 4 candles, one for our grief, one for our hope, one for memories, and one for everlasting hope. Pauline Newton, if you can come up. The first candle represents her grief. The pain of losing you is intense. It reminds me of the depth of caring you gave to us. We miss you. Doris Leonard and her grandson Tyler, if you can come up. The second candle represents our hope. Hope for the future. Hope that impaired drivers will think before they make a decision to get behind the wheel and endanger others. Christina Fraser, if you can come on. The third candle represents our memory. The times we laughed, the times we cried, the times we were angry with each other, and the silly things we did. Deb Mitchell, if you could come up. The fourth candle represents our light of love. As we enter this holiday season, we cherish a special place in our hearts that you will always reserve. We thank you for the gift of living that each day you brought to us. We love you. If everyone can remain standing, as Jessica sings.
Jessica Goodall's been good enough to come and be with us tonight. She's an excellent singer. We've had her before, so I hope you enjoy this.
I will remember you. Will you remember me? Don't let your life pass you by. Weep not for the memory. Remember the good times that we had. We let them slip away from us when things got bad. Clearly I first saw you smiling in the sun. I wanna feel your warmth upon me. wanna be the one. I will remember you. Will you remember me? Don't let your life pass you by. Weep not for the memories. I'm so tired, but I can't sleep. Standing on the edge of something much too deep. Funny how we feel so much, but can't say a word. We're screaming on the inside, but we can't be heard. I will remember you. Will you remember me? Don't let your life pass you by. Weep not for the memories.
Thank you, Jessica. We're going to get into the really important part of the service and the reason we're all here. I can have Barb Payne come. We're going to start the tributes. If the family is here that presented the tribute, feel free to stand. If you feel more comfortable sitting, that's fine too. Forgot. Debbie, come on up. Sorry.
In honor of the life of Joseph Andrew Barrett, December 9th, 1978 to March 4th, 2000. Every time we look at your pictures, it makes us want to cry. They're not tears of sorrow, but tears of pride and joy. When we whisper your name, we can touch you. The happiness you brought into our life will live on forever. To know that all the love in heaven is wrapped around you will always be comforting thoughts. We are smiling at you. You are smiling at us. For you have such a beautiful smile. We love you, miss you very much. Until we meet again, love Grandma and Grandpa. In honor of the life of Joseph Andrew Barrett, December 9th, 78, March 4th to 2000. Joe, the day you were taken from us changed our lives forever. Every day we miss your laughter, your smile, your jokes, your hugs. Seeing you tease your cousins, aunts, uncles, grandparents, and sisters. There's a lot of days when I just sit and wonder, what would Joe be doing if he was still here with us? What would he be working at? How many kids would he have? Who would he have married? Where would he be living? What kind of uncle he would be? The list goes on and on. But I do know one thing about Joe for sure. He's deeply missed and loved by his family, aunts, uncles, cousins, grandparents, friends, and his little nephew that he never got to meet. I know his grandma Ralph misses him saying, "Gram, what do you got to eat?" Grandpa Ralph misses Joe's jokes and telling Grandma that Grandpa don't lie, he just stretches the truth a little. What I miss most is seeing Joe with his sister Jessica and tell me that I'm his favorite mom, and then he'll say, "That's because you're my only mom." Then he'll say, "I love you, Mom, and I'm always going to be with you." But Joe, you'll always be with me as part of my life. That's part of my life I'll never forget. Joe, we all love you and miss you a lot. You will never be forgotten. Love, Mom, till we meet again.
To honor the life of Darcy Beach, April 16, 1955 to April 28, 2001. Darcy, it will be 12 years this coming April that we lost you. They say with time it gets easier. That may be true to some degree, but there are days when some little thing like the smell of potato soup, the sound of a motorcycle driving by past the driveway, or just seeing one of your old friends that brings back the tears and the lump in my throat. Birthdays, holidays, and your date are not and never will be the only time we miss you. Just know that you are forever missed and loved. I know that someday in the future we will be together again, and I want you to know that it's that thought that keeps me going on those bad days. Love you, Darcy. Tim and Cindy. To honor the life of Mason Eugene Berube, May 5th, 1996 to March 13th, 2009. Good evening, everyone. My name is Barb Sharon, and I am very pleased to say that I'm the great aunt of Mason Berube. Mason was quite the little man, and I will never forget him. But what I would like to talk about tonight is Mason's other family. My niece Shannon married Jason Berube and instantly became the mom of Danielle, Vincent, and Mason Berube. Sharon already was a single mom of an amazing son, Dylan, and together with Jason and his crew, they became a family, a big, crazy family. With that many children and all the turmoil life would bring, I always saw a smile on Shannon's face because she always wanted to be the mom of a large family. Nothing would ever replace Dylan in her heart, but Mason came a very close second. From my first meeting of Mason, I knew he was someone special. If you would ask him who Shannon was, he would always say, "She's my girlfriend." If Jason protested and said, "No, she's my girlfriend," Mason would just yell louder, "No, she's my girlfriend." At Shannon and Jason's wedding, Mason was so happy. I still hold very dear to my heart the memory of Shannon spinning Mason around on the dance floor. Shannon was born to be a mom, and I never saw her happier or more beautiful as she was on that day. Mason adored her, and you could just tell by the way he always looked at her. I remember getting the call from my sister Nancy that Jason had been in a terrible car accident and that Mason and Devin had been killed. I went cold inside. I couldn't imagine why God would ever want to take such a funny, loving, sweet boy away from his family. I pray that someday we will learn the reason why. I worked as a dispatcher for the OPP, and this has always been my worst fear, that someone I love would be in a terrible accident and there would be nothing I could do for them. Days later, I spoke to the first OPP officer that arrived on the scene, and he told me of what he saw and heard. No one should have to go through a tragedy like Jason did, but unfortunately, he did. Like I say, we all knew it, changed that moment, and will never be the same for any of us who knew and loved Mason. Shannon wasn't Mason's birth mother, but she was like a mom that took care of him when he was sick, talked to him when he had something that was bothering him, got up with him at night when he was afraid, as well and cooked and cleaned up after him. Shannon is and always will be Mason's mom and girlfriend. I just wanted to take this time to thank Shannon and Jason for bringing Mason into our lives. He always made me laugh. He was always on the go, and I'm sure even God is having a hard time keeping track of him. Mason is someone that once you met him, you would never forget him. Jason and Shannon, thank you from the bottom of my heart for making Mason the kid he was. I love you both so much. Barb. To honor the life of Nikki Blanken, June 17, 1950 to January 10, 1974, lovingly remembered by family and friends. To acknowledge the injury suffered by Tracy Coventry on February 13, 2009. Don't tell me that you understand. Don't tell me that you know. Don't tell me that I will survive or how I will surely grow. Don't come at me with answers that can only come from me. Don't tell me this will pass, that I will soon be free. Accept me in my up and downs. I need someone to share. Just hold my hand and let me cry and say, my friend, I care. There are so many things that I can't seem to understand, but I know who holds tomorrow, and I know who holds my hand. To honor the life of Sharon Cunningham, April 25th, 1969, June 1st, 1990. Lovingly remembered by friends and family. To honor the life of Tony DeGraw, October 6, 1986 to January 1st, 2007. Tony was a son, brother, grandson, nephew, cousin, and friend. Our lives have never been the same. He was a charming, fine young man who was just starting an adventure of his life. His journey was cut short by a drunk driver. He left us with a hole in our hearts and lives that could never be filled. We remember our Tony. Keep smiling with those rosy cheeks. Love you for always, Mom and Dad, and sisters Laura and Lindsay. To honor the life of Gary Stephen Waterworth, September 17, 1961 to June 6, 2008. Death leaves a heartache no one can heal. Memories are treasures no one can steal. Some may forget you now that you're gone, but we will remember no matter how long. Deep in our hearts, you will always stay, loved and remembered in every way. No tears, no words can ever say how much we miss you each and every day. Love, Mom and family. To honor the life of Gary Stephen Waterworth, September 17, 1961 to June 6, 2008. We miss you taking us to the park. We miss you taking us to Glencoe Fair. We miss you taking us to Taco Bell. We miss you taking us to work with you. We miss you at Christmas, Easter, Thanksgiving, and on our birthday parties. We miss riding the dirt bike and your Boland's tractor with you. We miss going fishing with you. We miss you, Dad, and we love you. Tyler and Raquel.
Thank you, Barb. Dr. Bertoldi, if you would come up, please.
To honor the life of Caitlin Porter, November 2nd, 1993 to December 12th, 2009. I would like to begin by thanking MADD Canada, in particular Marie Keane and Karen Holtby, for all their love and support since the passing of my beautiful daughter Caitlin 23 months ago. My beautiful daughter Caitlin was born November 2nd, 1993. From the beginning of her short life, we all knew there was something a little different and a whole lot special about her. My first memory of Caitlin was her constant smile. She just smiled at everything, no matter what it was. I remember how protective her older sister Kayla was of her as a baby. This also carried on throughout her life. I would pick Caitlin up for a feeding or a diaper change, and Kayla would get angry and say, "Put my sister down," or "That's my baby." The love and admiration they had for each other throughout her life was indescribable. When Caitlin was 2 years old, we had another addition to our family, Caitlin's little sister Natalie. It's funny how traits continue through siblings, as Caitlin treated Natalie exactly as she was treated by Kayla, very protective, and took ownership of her as a baby. I was and still am very, very proud of all three of my girls, as they always loved, respected, and admired each other, still do. Don't get me wrong, they are teenage girls after all, and hair, makeup, borrowing each other's clothes, computer time, and phone time can be issues at times. But at the end of the day always ended with an "I love you" to each other. I would like to think that my relationship with my daughters is a special one. December 12th, 2009 changed my family's lives forever. It is fair to say that myself, Kayla, and Natalie feel as though we've been robbed of so many wonderful years with Caitlin. Caitlin will never graduate high school or university. She will never have a driver's license. She will never marry. She will never experience having her own family. She wanted to be 16 years old so badly. I'm thankful that she got to be 16 for 6 weeks. She will be 16 forever. I know she is in heaven, taking care of those that need it. She's up there making people smile and laugh for certain. My family will support MADD forever and will do whatever it takes, not only tell Caitlin's story, but the stories of all our victims here today. On behalf of my daughters, Kayla and Natalie, I thank everyone for their support, and God bless all of our children and all of our victims. Thank you, Ed Porter and family. To honor the life of Kenneth Michael Hamilton, September 5th, 1959 to November 8th, 2004. If tears could build a stairway and memories were a lane, I would walk right up to heaven to bring you home again. No farewell words were spoken, no time to say goodbye. You were gone before we knew it, and only God knows why. My heart still aches in sadness, and secret tears still flow. What it meant to lose you, no one will ever know. Kenny, you are sadly missed by so many that loved you, forever in our hearts and never forgotten. The Hamilton family. To honor the life of Tressa Gray, October 8, 1964 to March 23, 2001. You can't measure love by sticks and stones, or by when the sun comes up and shines all morn. The stars will fall, the earth moves round. To measure your love can never be found. It's endless thoughts of you being around. I go through the motions and yet I am lost. Call me a mummy or a dummy, I still don't hear sound. My heart aches with the twisted thought that you're gone forever and my life has truly stopped. To jumpstart it again, I realize that I have Corey. He guides me and leads me to a place I have never been before. His strength and smile is what pulls me through on days that I say, God, I miss you. Love always and forever, Robin and Corey Gray. To honor the life of Jessica J. Gray, July 10, 1994 to March 23, 2001. Seventh Heaven. To moms and dads all over the world who can feel the pain when you lose your little girl. There is no measure of pain, just a huge broken heart that can fill that void of your 7-year-old sweetheart. The joy and laughter that comes from within, that little girl had love and not an ounce of sin. They say she is gifted, and with that I have no doubt. That lovely little angel was never shy to put out. She would dance her way deep into your heart, and you had to love her style as she would scream and shout. With her face aglow, I would melt at the sight of her beautiful brown eyes and her endless strive to be right. She would never give up or let on to give in. She was a tower of power with an unforgettable grin. Love was her life, and that's all she would give, an endless supply of something she just lived. Love always and forever, Daddy and Corey. To honor the life of Alexander Gideon Fleming, May 19, 2008 to October 14, 2008. Dear Alex, the moment reality hit, telling me you were no longer here, made me feel like a house of cards that with one quick blow had caved in. For a time, I thought I was 6 feet under, screaming and you couldn't hear me. But I soon realized that I was still alive and so were you.
All the doors between you and me on earth may have closed, but then I found an unspoiled road that led me to the perfect door, the one that opened for everyone to see, the one that shows how brightly you shine in everyone's eyes, the one that shows the light in your heart as it ignites the light in ours. You are the brightest star on the darkest night. You are the rainbow after the storm. You are the first bud to sprout after a harsh, cold winter. You are the colors that burst on the autumn leaves. You are everything pure and innocent. You will always be a part of me that I am proud to now share with everyone. Love, Mom and Dad. Max and Ethan with their baby brother, Alexander Gideon Fleming, May 19th, 2008 to October 14th, 2008. To our baby brother, Alex. We were all so young when you left us, like a butterfly leaves its cocoon. We had barely begun to know each other. When you left us, it was too soon. Tragedy took your innocent life and left us as two once again. Know that we will always love you, our baby brother who lives in heaven. Love, Max and Ethan. To honor the life of Nancy Henderson, 1965 to May 22nd, 1992. Just one. It takes just one person to take another's life, to cause their families pain, suffering, and strife. A human being so full of fear, just because someone drank too much beer. He made his choice getting into his car. He thought to himself, I don't have to go far. Down the road and over the hill, little did he know that he would soon kill. His car hit another, it flew through the air. The woman was rushed to intensive care. At 11 p.m., she was pronounced dead. All the doctor could do was shake his head. Another life wasted, the doctors replied. I asked myself why she was dead. Why had she died? All these questions came up and about. It made me crazy. I just wanted to shout. I've come to accept the fact she's not here, but she'll always be close, so very near. In loving memory of Nancy Henderson, 1965 to 1992, killed by an impaired driver. Tribute was composed by Nancy's niece, Katie Henderson, age 50. To honor the life of Christopher David Hoschel, February 23rd, 1983 to July 12th, 1998. It's hard to believe so many years have passed since you were taken from us. At the time, you were a mere 15 years young. You had so much living and learning still to do, yet your life was needlessly cut short at the hands of a drinking driver. Not a day goes by that you are not thought of in a loving way, and although you are no longer with us in the flesh, your memory continues to live on within our hearts. Loving you and missing you always, until we meet again. Love, your family. To honor the life of Catherine Newton, March 1st, 1977 to August 24th, 1997. Catherine was just 20 years old when she was struck and killed by a drunk driver. The driver went through a red light and struck her on the pedestrian crosswalk. His blood alcohol concentration was 2.5 times the legal limit. Catherine was a beautiful young woman with a wonderful future ahead of her. She had just completed her first year of university, where she was an A+ student. Her goal was to become a physiotherapist working with children. Catherine loved children and dreamed of having a family of her own someday. She would have made a wonderful mother, but all her hopes and dreams were shattered because someone chose to drink and drive. Her quick wit, infectious smile, and fun-loving personality endeared her not only to her family, but to everyone who knew her. To know Catherine was to love her, as her many friends will attest to. Life will never be the same without you, Catherine. We will remember you always and love you forever. Mom, Dad, Diane, and Christine. To honor the life of David Richard Phillips, August 31st, 1978 to July 31st, 1999. David, I remember when you were 3 years old, so full of energy. You hardly ever walked and ran everywhere. What a joy to watch you grow into a fine young man with hopes and dreams for your future. David, you have given me a mission. You have given me strength and determination to continue the fight against impaired driving, so one day there will be no more victims. Love, Marie Keene.
Thank you, Dr. Bertoldi. She thinks I give her all the hard ones. If everybody stand up for a minute. These are hard to listen to, hard to hear. Turn around and shake somebody's hand. Tell them you're glad they're here tonight.
I'm glad you're here today.
The tributes you are hearing from victims are very special. It takes a lot of courage for them to be here tonight. Their lives are no longer the same. Grief is a lifetime process. My advice to you is to cherish every moment with those you love at every stage of your journey through life. My friends, love is better than anger. Hope is better than fear. Optimism is better than despair. So let us be loving, hopeful, and optimistic, and we can change the world. Val Freeman, please. Val Freeman.
To honor the life of Renee Sarah Preston, May 10th, 1982, October 20th, 2001. It has been 11 years since Renee was killed by a drunk driver. She was a passenger in the back seat of a car that careened off the road and struck a tree, killing her and another passenger. Renee was the oldest of 3 children. She was dearly loved by her younger sister and baby brother, Leela and Derek. They looked to her for a no-holds-barred, unbridled truth. Renee was a vibrant person, fun-loving, caring, and compassionate to other human beings. Renee made a room light up with her presence. She was the life of any social event. There are many stories of how she would befriend the underdog and/or people on the so-called fringe of society. Renee did not judge or discriminate against others. She believed that diversity made the world a better place to live and far less boring. Renee's laugh could be heard over all others, and she laughed with her heart. I wake each day with a hole in my soul that she used to fill. Renee's passion for music and art was truly beautiful, and she had the voice of an angel. Anyone who had the opportunity to hear her sing was moved by her range and ability. Renee was more than a daughter or a sister. She was our best friend. Renee was an inspiration to many and still is to this day. Each year in the fall, there is an award ceremony at Arthur Bowden Secondary School. There is the Renee Preston Memorial Award. This is given to one student of music and one student of art. Unlike most awards, it is given to students who show great potential but may not have the resources to obtain materials required. This is one of the ways we honor her memory. There aren't enough words of misery in the dictionary to possibly express the pain we have suffered since Renee's death. Something just short of ripping our hearts out of our chests, soul-wrenching agony, truly hell and no way out. On a cold October morning, on a dark and lonely country road, the world, my family, and I were robbed of a precious life that was a positive and contributing member of society. Because of a simple choice, 2 people had their choices removed from them forever. We love you, Mom, Leela, and Derek. To honor the life of Renee Sarah Preston, May 10th, 1982, October 20th, 2001. Renee is my older sister. To say that she was feels like to say that I'm saying that she isn't. Even death can't take that away from me, or at least I won't let it. Every day, since she has passed, I think about her. Thinking about the things that remind me of her, keeping Renee alive in my heart, is brighter than just a distant memory. I remember her hugs were warm and squishy. What I would give for one sometimes. Those times you feel like everything is falling apart and the one person you want to call doesn't have a phone. Sometimes I wonder what she would have done in a similar situation. For some reason, what I would do, what I have imagined, makes me feel a whole lot better. I miss painting, creating things with you. Although you're not right there, I sing to you, say hi to you, and hope you can hear me. Love you, Nana. Lee. To honor the life of Debbie Ferguson, February 16, 1973, April 28, 2001. Lovingly remembered by friends and family. To honor the life of Paxton Bolia, May 15, 1972, September 17, 2006. Lovingly remembered always by family and friends. To acknowledge the injuries suffered by Lori Bolia on September 17, 2006, injured in the crash in which her husband Paxton was killed, lovingly supported by family and friends. To honor the life of Freddie Palmer, July 23, 1959, November 27, 2003. Our dearest Freddie, the time with you was all too brief. 9 years will soon be here since you were taken from us. We still grieve each and every day over the needless loss of you, as well as strongly miss you and always will, Freddie. You were taken from the wreckage that day in the arms of an angel to free you from your pain. We can just imagine the pain you must have gone through, Freddie. Some people walk and some people talk. Our hearts are so broken, Freddie. No one can tell us how much we can bear the sorrows of many more tomorrows. You are so loved and missed, Freddie. Love Mom, Dad, Karen, John, Alicia, Nicole, Mark, and Max Palmer. P.S. Freddie, the way you left us is so unfair and always will be. Miss you so, so much, Freddie. Love, Mom. To honor the life of Stephanie Dawn Stevenson, August 28, 1972, April 10, 1992. A shining star, that's what you are, an angel looking down from heaven. You were in our lives for such a short time until you became the victim of a drunk driver. Now you are gone forever, but you will always be that ray of sunshine in our hearts and in our thoughts. Love you always, Stephanie, your family. To honor the life of Michael Salentine, February 27, 1983, April 11, 2006. Michael, our firstborn child, our only and loving son, our pride and joy, was taken away from us in the middle of the night on April 11, 2006. He had just turned 23 years old. We are overwhelmed and paralyzed by our grief and pain. How could we ever start to describe our Michael's wonderful character and spirit? Our hearts bleed continuously. Michael called me one night at the beginning of his last year at Western. Mom, I've taken an elective on death. I shuddered a little and asked him why he had chosen to do that. I should have known the answer of our sensitive and passionate son. I want to get an understanding of what we have been through as a family, and I want to be able to help our family if another tragedy happens, was Michael's answer. How we all need him now so very much. We need his humor, his laughter, his quiet intelligence, his love, and his strength. We thank you and weep with you. Jack, Carrie, and Bianca Salentine. To honor the life of Aaron Amidio Rizzo, June 22, 1977, July 3, 2009. Aaron Rizzo was many things to many people. He was a fantastic father, wonderful son, amazing brother, and a loving grandson, nephew, cousin, and friend to many. He left an aching hole in all of our lives, but has also left so much more. He left a beautiful daughter that misses her daddy, wonderful memories for family and friends, and all the jokes and funny stories. Somewhere, there's a pickle jar with a light bulb in it. Don't ask. He also left his heart and organs so that others could live. Somewhere out there, a mom has a second chance with her children, as well as with work in the medical field, quite possibly saving more people. Aaron was the light in the room and could always make you laugh, and is missed so much. He left too soon, but will never be forgotten, lovingly remembered by family and friends. To honor the life of Jim Van Horn, June 11th, 1965, August 20th, 2010. Jim, this is for you. Jim and I shared a special bond that not too many siblings share. We had the same birthday, June 11th. Our birthday came this year and went. I did not get a phone call or a visit, no cake to bake, no more birthdays for me. I would like to think that all of my sisters, Jane Ann, myself, and Sherry, shared a special bond with Jim. Since Dad had passed on June 13th, 2001, Jim had taken over the responsibilities of Dad. Jim was there when you needed him, and even if you didn't, he was still there. Jim's death ripped my heart out. It hurt then, and it still hurts. I would really like to know when the hurt will go away. I miss seeing him when I needed him, and even if I didn't, he was the only brother I had, and he will never be replaced. He will always be remembered, especially on August 20th every year, and he will always be dear in my heart. He will always be loved. There will always be tears and thoughts every day. Things that didn't get said. There will always be times that I will think, if only Jim was here, what would he have done? I'm so sorry that on August 13th, 2010, I didn't slow down. You were fixing Brad's bike. You were both getting ready to go to Dover, your first time on a bike of your own. I had stopped to say good luck and have fun. I didn't get a hug or a kiss. I didn't say that I loved you, and I'm so sorry. Please forgive me. I do love you so much, and I can't get past that day because not 1 week later, you were gone. I'm so sorry. I will regret that day for the rest of my life. Jim, I hope that up there, you know how much I love you. What I have learned from all of this is not to take anything for granted. Make sure that you tell your loved ones how you feel every time you see them, because as soon as you turn around, they're gone. Your sister always, Patty, who you called Tootie Ganu. To honor the life of Jim Van Horn, June 11th, 1965, August 20th, 2010. My brother. A brother in a family fills a special place, our guardian and protector with his love and smiling face. Our father met an early grave, so Jim stepped to the plate. He did his best to love his all, to shape the family's fate. Our family has its problems, and I've sometimes felt alone, but nothing like the emptiness I feel now that my dear brother has gone. He always came to visit me, and I loved the time we spent. He made me feel like someone cared, no matter how my day had went. He loved to make me laugh, and he loved to make me mad. He had a loving shoulder to cry on. He had kind words when life was bad. I can say with truth and honesty, I really did love him. How will I ever fill the void that's been left by Jim? I miss him oh so very much. He was my very best friend. I'll see him once again one day when my life finds its end. So until that day, my dear Jim, I have the memories you've left with me. That dreadful night that you moved on was the worst night that will ever be. Love, Jane.
Thank you, Val. Mary Lou McKay, please. Doris Armstrong, did you want to read your tribute? No, okay.
To honor the life of Devin Anthony Donald Tennis Armstrong, October 23rd, 1996 to March 13th, 2009. Devin, after 3.5 years, I still find myself waiting to hear from you, waiting for you to walk through the door, waiting for your funny way of texting one letter at a time. Can I spend the night at Mason's? Boy, those were some long text messages. I will never get over not being able to hug and kiss you goodbye. Your laughter and the way you would make people laugh make me I'm sorry, I'm having a hard time seeing here. Just 1 second. Okay, I'll start. I will never get over not being able to hug and kiss you goodbye. Your laughter and the way you would make people laugh makes me extremely sad that I don't have to kiss you goodbye. Your laughter and the way you would make people laugh makes me extremely sad that I don't have that to look forward to anymore. The family cannot thank Jason enough for being there as a father figure in your life and treat you as his own. You certainly lived a busier social life than I did. Every weekend, every holiday and summer was filled with you spending time with your friends, and I am so thankful that you gave that time to all of your friends to leave them with memories that you would come home and share only some of those strange and outrageous memories with us. Out of all those weekends, I was so happy that we spent the weekend at Grandma and Grandpa's to go and have our pictures taken to surprise them, not knowing at the time that those were going to be our last family photos. You were growing up so fast, becoming more mature and being so thoughtful to others. You had become a man at the age of 12, which not only myself, but others were so amazed by you. You will always be my baby, my pride and joy, my special angel. Devin, you would be so happy to see that your older sisters have turned into wonderful, beautiful young ladies. Taylor has gained your strength and courage, and Sam, even though was always a social butterfly, has now become even more of a social butterfly and gained your ways of making people laugh. She especially loves telling me blonde jokes. That's why your sisters are now brunettes. I see you so much in both of them. Thank you, Devin, for shining through. There's not a day that goes by that I don't think about you and Mason, wondering what kind of innocent mischief you guys are getting into. We miss you both very much. Devin, this is Grandma wanting to let you know that every time I drive over the ripple cuts in the road, just before the stop signs, when you were 1 year old, your giggle because they tickled your ears, how we remember your liveliness to get up and boogie, to bad to the bone, your enjoyment and appreciation of the very finest things in life. I regret that Grandpa and I never had you and Mason over. We were planning on the two of you coming later that week, or hopefully the next weekend, but you two had such a full schedule, as always. We miss your helping hands, we miss your genius ideas, we miss the sparkles we would feel when we knew you were coming, or even when you surprised us. You were never shy about giving me hugs, even in public. I want to add a thank you for the picture you took of yourself at Christmas on your camera. It was one of the best surprises. This time of year is very difficult, as it always started with your enthusiasm of going back to school. Your birthday, October 23rd, would have been your sweet 16. Halloween, Christmas, and of course, New Year's. We love you, Devin. Love Mom, Matt, Taylor, Sam, Grandma and Grandpa, and the rest of your family and friends. To honor the life of Kyle P.T. Payne, April 16, 1987 to May 27, 2012. The best die young for my beloved brother, Kyle P.T. Payne, April the 16th, 1987 to May 27, 2012. It's as if the sun and moon have collided. We are here left in darkness, lost and wandering aimlessly for something that we long for, someone we can never get back. Life thrown off kilter, meaning lost, opinions changed, things that had meaning don't matter. Now small things and photos we graft onto with clenched fists, for they are all we have left of you. Your laughter was contagious, but now no longer heard. But now it is gone and heard no more. Your wonderful smile, your bright young eyes, the shape of your face and your curly hair, your brown hair and your orange-tinged beard, now only seen in pictures we place upon our walls in memory of you. But they will have to do, for they are all we have left of you. To honor the life of Mary Van Ways, January 29, 1944 to March 23, 2007. Lovingly remembered by family and friends. To honor the life of Kenneth Brooke Wilmot, February the 28th, 1951 to January the 2nd, 2005. Scholar, teacher, son, father, grandfather, brother, uncle, nephew, friend, sadly missed, submitted by Robert Wilmot, brother. To honor the life of Mark Robert Webster, November the 23rd, 1976 to December the 10th, 1996. Our lives go on without you, but nothing is the same. We have to hide our heartaches when someone speaks your name. Sad are the hearts that love you, silent the tears that fall. Living our lives without you is the hardest part of all. The special years will not return when we were all together, but with the love we carry within our hearts, you will walk with us forever, dearly loved and missed by your family and friends. To honor the life of Lori Leanne Woolley, January 23rd, 1965 to March 26, 2011. In memory of our precious Lori Leanne, on January 23rd, 1965, our family was blessed with this wonderful little soul coming into the world. Her smile, loving nature, sense of humor, quick wit made our lives and the world a more magical place. We will be forever blessed to have had her in our lives. As her mother, there is not a moment of any day that I do not think of Lori and miss her. Lori was taken away from us on March 26, 2011 by a drunken driver. He is now serving a small jail sentence and will come out of jail and go on with his life and with all his family. A small price he has paid for causing such grief and loss to her children, granddaughter, and brother. My loss was twofold. Her father, Ron, could not accept Lori's passing, and on December the 9th, 2011, he passed away from a stroke. Ron is now with Lori in heaven. Our family had to bury 2 of their loved ones in less than 1 year. God bless everyone who has supported our family. Thank you to MADD for their loving care and excellent work in education of zero tolerance while driving a vehicle. Love, Mom and Dad. To honor the life of Lori Leanne Woolley, January 23rd, 1965 till March 26, 2011. When tomorrow starts without me. When tomorrow starts without me, and I'm not there to see, if the sun should rise and find your eyes all filled with tears for me, I wish so much you wouldn't cry the way you did today, while thinking of the many things we didn't get to say. I know how much you love me, as much as I love you, and each time that you think of me, I know you'll miss me too. But when tomorrow starts without me, please try to understand that an angel came and called my name and took me by the hand and said my place was ready in heaven far above, and that I'd have to leave behind all those things I dearly loved. But as I turned to walk away, a tear fell from my eye. For all my life, I'd always thought I didn't want to die. I had so much to live for, so much yet to do. It seemed almost impossible that I was leaving you. I thought of all the yesterdays, the good ones and the bad. I thought of all the love we shared and all the fun we had. If I could relive yesterday just even for a while, I'd say goodbye and kiss you and maybe see you smile. But then I fully realized that could never be, for emptiness and memories would take the place of me. And when I thought of worldly things I might miss come tomorrow, I thought of you, and when I did, my heart was filled with sorrow. But when I walked through heaven's gates, I felt so much at home. When God looked down and smiled at me from his great golden throne, he said, "This is eternity, and all I have promised you. Today your life on earth is past, and here it starts anew. I promise no tomorrow, but today will always last. And since each day's the same day, there's no longing for the past. But you have been so faithful, so trusting, and so true. Though there were times you did some things you know you shouldn't do. But you have been forgiven, and now at last you're free. So won't you take my hand now and share my life with me? So when tomorrow starts without me, don't think we're far apart. For every time you think of me, I'm right here in your heart. Love, Ashley and Dylan, Lori's children." To acknowledge the injuries suffered by Mary Yo, February the 8th, 1998. Don't call me. I live with my injuries. People say to me, "Aren't you lucky?" And they don't understand why my face suddenly freezes and my voice becomes tense. I can say I'm lucky if I so choose on any given day. But when others say it, I feel as if they discount my pain and don't recognize my cost, counting me only as alive or dead, no matter how hard it may be to endure living. Some days I am glad. Life itself is all that matters, and I savor it. But when I hurt too much, or am told I won't fully heal, when I cannot work or play as before, or feel I'm a burden on others, then I don't feel lucky at all. I feel cheated. Tell me instead you are glad I'm still here, and let me know why. Then someday I can tell you how lucky I am to have someone who understands and accepts my sorrows and who also shares my joys. To acknowledge the injuries suffered by James Yo, May 15, 1999. Everyone dreads the call from the police telling them their loved one has been injured in a car crash. This was the second crash in just over a year that severely affected our family. Again, alcohol was involved. James had been injured in the crash and was in critical condition. His father and I were asked to go to the hospital, not knowing what to expect when we got there. Although James recovered, he still suffers from the injuries, both physically and emotionally. We love you, James. You have our support. Love, Mom and Dad, Mary and Jim Yo.
Thank you, Mary Lou. Jessica?
Sunny days seem to hurt the most. Wear the pain like a heavy coat. Feel you everywhere I go. See your smile, I see your face. Hear you laughing in the rain. Still can't believe you're gone. It ain't fair, you died too young, like a story that had just begun. Death tore the pages all away. God knows how I miss you. Everything that I've been through, just knowing no one could take your place. Sometimes I wonder who you would be today. Would you see the world, or would you chase your dreams? Would you see the world, or would you chase your dreams? Settle down with your family. Wonder what would you name your babies? Some days when the sky's so blue, feel like I can talk to you. I know it might sound crazy. It ain't fair, you died too young, like a story that had just begun. But death tore the pages all away. God knows how I miss you. Everything that I've been through, just knowing no one can take your place. Sometimes I wonder who you would be today. Sunny days seem to hurt the most. Feel the pain like a heavy coat. The only thing that gives me hope is knowing I'll see you again someday.
Thank you very much, Jessica. That was lovely. I want everyone to stand, please. And if Eugene Motley would come forward. there's a lot of people that wanted to be here tonight. I don't know if I picked a bad weekend for Vigil or what. I know there's a lot of people who weren't able to come for one reason or another. So I want to, this last tribute is for them. So Eugene is going to light the candle. We're going to have a moment of silence in memory of all those people that, victims that were not able to come tonight. Okay. Thank you.
Tonight, in honored memory, we think of you who used to be so close to us to hug and kiss, but who now we do dearly miss. We light our candles here to show that though you're gone, we will still love you so. At times, we even bring to thought the happy times that you once brought. So let the candles send forth their light, that all may know right here tonight. We'll always hold your memory near and not forget you, have no fear. Thank you for being here tonight, and may your holidays bring you moments of peace and joy.
Thanks, Mary Lou. Roger Mandel, please.
Please be seated. As we close this 6th annual Candlelight Vigil of Hope and Remembrance, I can only reiterate what the first speaker, Chief Bill Lynch, said so well, saying thanks to MADD Canada as an organization saving lives and supporting victims, and to us in the ministry also being a resource for us and our people. We appreciate that. Also appreciate tonight being involved with the first responders, the first supporters, the police officers, the firefighters, and the paramedics. Many are here tonight on their own time, and a blessing on them. And to the victims, somebody said once you'll never get over it, but you'll get through it with the love of family and friends and supportive organizations like MADD Canada and this local chapter of MADD. Seeing Dave Phillips was a friend of my son's, Matthew, and what that tribute was, I forget whether it was his mom or an aunt, saying their prayers were that there'd be a time when there'd be no more drinking and driving. And that's my prayer, and a prayer for the victims that you will get through it. And so I close with this benediction that MADD wrote so beautifully in the back of the bulletin tonight. Our words and actions may seem modest in comparison to the task, but people have gathered, remembered, shared, and prayed. And now may the spirit of this moment bless us with the hope of healing, the love that leads to reconciliation, and the passion that brings about a transformed tomorrow. This I pray in the name of all that's good, just, and holy. Individually, we are a drop. Together, we are an ocean. Go, we can make a difference. Go in peace. Amen. And also the invitation, Marie, thanks for inviting these guys back for refreshments following the service. Bless you.
Okay, that's the end of our service. Those of you who had tributes read, if they would pick up their candles, also for those people, we have bags packed with a few things for you. So if you come and get your candles and get your bag at the same time. Okay, and thank you for coming. It's so good to see everyone here tonight.